Hello everyone, I'm Phoenix Tremaine, and this is going to be my review of Tyler Perry's Ruthless Episode 4, Waiting for Tomorrow. But first, if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, because every time you hit that like button, it lets other Ruthless fans know this is a good spot to get reviews. Now, we're going to get into this video, but first I got to say, I really hope you enjoyed this video, because this is my fourth time doing it. The first time I tried to do this video, it was the day after I saw the episode, and I didn't feel like I had enough energy. It's like when I first saw the episode, I was excited, I was pumped, I had a lot I wanted to say, and then I waited a day. Now I know when I watch it, I gotta hurry up and review it so I can have that same energy from when I first saw it. So I went on ahead and I tried to do that interview, and my energy was low, and it was raining outside, and it was gray, and that always affects my personality. So then I said, I can't put that out there for the people. I gotta give them something fun, something they can laugh at, give them some information. Then I did it a second time. The second time I did the review, my baby came home, and some of the things I was talking about in the video, I didn't feel comfortable talking about around my baby. So then I was like, okay, so let me do this a third time, which was yesterday. And yesterday I just lost my voice. I ran out of energy. Like right now, you know, I got my little chloroseptic right here in case I need a little quick squirts real quick. But all in all, I say all that to say is I try to give you the best energy and the best videos I can. And I didn't want to do this video badly because I enjoyed it so much and I had so much to say. So we're going to get right to it with my fourth time trying to knock this video out. So here we go. The first note I have is Ruth is ordered to be Tally. After a little resistance, it gets real brutal. Like, they out in the streets, you know, and Tally isn't allowed to fight back. So Ruth is just ruthlessly beating her. And I like Tally. As I said in my other videos, Tally's like one of my favorite characters, and I was afraid that she was going to die with all these beatings. At least, I mean, she should have at least a miscarriage by now. And Ruth beat her so bad, they actually went to the credits, the opening credits, did a scene with Sarah, came back to Ruth, and she was still beating her. So, yeah, it was rough. And then after she was beaten that badly, she couldn't get up. So they had Andrew grab her by the hair and drag her back to her prison cell that they created for her. That was rough to watch, but it's a testament to Tyler Perry that in just 4 short episodes, I'm emotionally invested in the character Tally, and not wanting anything bad to happen to her. Especially since we know it looked like somebody in the opening credits get like acid in the face or something. I like, yeah, we don't need her to be disfigured or nothing. So to that scene that was in between the Tally beating and being dragged out was Sarah, the maid. Sarah's maid Stacy lets her know that her check bounced, and then she starts Sarah starts talking down to Stacy while still needing her help. You know, where's my son? You know, there ain't nothing wrong with your check. You know, I'll check the bank or whatever. And it made me not like Sarah. She's already on some aggressively stupid stuff like Lynn did. It's like, you really have 2 women in a row do that? But what made me mad at Sarah is the same reason why I've gotten mad on dates when people talk down to the waiter or the waitress or, you know, different people. You know, the people that are customer service are just people. They may not have the same job you have. They may not live in the same kind of house you have. They may not even be living the same type of lifestyle that you're having, but they're still people with feelings and emotions. And when someone like Sarah treats the maid like, you know, dismissively, especially when she ain't paid her, when her check ain't right, I was getting in my feelings a little bit. And to find out that she was her cousin, it made it even worse. Because I have a history of family not treating family like they're supposed to treat family. Some of the worst thing that's ever happened to me was done to me by family. So, actually, one of the worst things that ever happened to me was done by family. And so, I really got my feelings a little about that, but once again, testament to Tyler Perry, that he's evoking different emotions in me as I'm watching the show, and I'm not having any complaints. Any real complaints. And so Sarah finds out that Andrew has wiped them completely out. There's no 401k, there's no savings, there's no checking, there's no nothing. So I'm going to skip ahead where she runs to Mac, and she's like, look, Mac, the money ain't right. He ain't cashed 3 checks because Mac offers to get her a check, from his next pay early. And she's like, no, I've already got 3 he ain't cashed. But what this dummy does is she tracks Andrew's watch so that she now knows his location, and she's getting dressed. She's dressing in black to go look for him. Now, I don't know if she's going to turn out to be an agent too or anything like that. But, it's really stupid to interrupt somebody under deep cover. We know that if a person, for instance, is a DEA agent, they get deep undercover with the mob or drug lord or something, and then you like, well, our kid's birthday is coming up, so you need to hurry up with this drug bust real quick because I need my man like now. That is why it sounds so stupid. It's like you murdered a guy who's in the FBI. He's deep undercover. His life is in danger. You interrupting the mission, put your life in danger. You can both be killed and your kid can be an orphan. That is why I get upset with the idea of Sarah not thinking rationally. And she's not thinking rationally. And I don't like that because there's not one but 2 characters that have now done that. We also learned that the sheriff isn't the scaredy cat that I thought he was, scared of the Rakadushi. He actually he's the one who contacted the FBI to try to take them down. So that's why when they stole the truck, he didn't want to ruin the investigation with the FBI with some trivial, theft. So it all makes it all make sense. And we're going to skip ahead to Andrew. So we're going to get into the first WTF moment of the episode. Andrew is forced to drag Tally by her hair to her cell. Once inside, he starts consoling her. Now he's seen for himself what the cleansing is. And, he threw up in the last episode. He knows what the cleansing is. He knows that they want to rape him. And everything she told him was true. And he's, look, we're going to escape. Which is why I'm guessing the episode is called Waiting for Tomorrow. So, they want to escape. And he's like, just hold on another day and we're going to get out here together. So Tally now actually has some hope. And what happens is, and this happens in real life all the time, Daikon is like, well, you were in there way too long. Why were you in there so long? And so he's like, pull your pants down. And Andrew is compliant. He doesn't do it the first time he asks, but second time he asks, he like drops his pants, and then they show his penis, and I'm almost 100% sure that it was a prosthetic, not the real thing. But Tyler showing dick down. So even if it's just a prosthetic. And so Daikon gets down there and gives it the sniff test, and he's trying to see if it smells like kitty. But you know what word I'm really thinking. But he's trying to see if it smells like the kitty cat. And so, he comes back up and he's like, I wanted to make sure that you weren't in there doing what you weren't supposed to be doing. And Andrew's like, okay. And then he kind of like, well, you need to go see the highest. So Andrew runs off, and Daikon ends up seeing another moment because he's everywhere. He's watching everything. That's definitely the highest right-hand man, because every time you look up, he's investigating, like, what y'all doing, where y'all supposed to be, why you ain't supposed to be at, how long, you've been in there too long. He's on it. And so he even catches Tally's daughter giving her some bread. And I was like, please don't beat her. Please don't beat her, because we've seen enough of Tally getting beat for 3 episodes. We started the season with him punching her in the face. Please, let's not have. I'm done for now. I need a break from Tally getting beat. Luckily, he did not beat Tally. He instead took the bread and walked away mad. So her daughter, now, she probably gets beat, but I think that Tally is safe for now. She didn't ask her daughter to do it. Unless they discipline her in front of her daughter to make her daughter not do that no more. You know. But, yeah, we got the sniff test. And I know some of y'all out there have given the sniff test and have received the sniff test. Because a lot of times when people suspect you of cheating, that is one of the biggest things that people do. They go down there and they give it an old sniffy sniff so that they can see if it smells like new soap. Like, you know, for 2 reasons. One, you walked out this house and went to work this morning, so why you come back smelling fresh as a daisy? That ain't the soap we have in this house. Or 2, you just supposedly went to the store. You come back 2 hours late, sniff, sniff. Why you smell like a floral arrangement when we got Irish Spring? You know, so people do the sniff test. Maybe they trying to sniff from latex. Maybe they trying to sniff for, you know, mess. You know what I'm talking about. That it doesn't smell like it's supposed to smell like. That's what you're doing the sniff test for. And yes, it happens, especially when you're in one of those relationships where cheating is going on or suspected of going on. And I'm probably going on this a little bit too long, but it's only because been there, done that. So it was shocking to me to actually see it on TV. But yeah, I was in a relationship where this was something that happened in real life. So, you know, he passed the sniff test. Plus, that was a little bit TMI. You just learned a little bit about me that you didn't need to know. But that was 26 years ago. My very first relationship. 26 years ago, back when I was young and stupid. Now, you know, I've been in a relationship for 10 years. And neither one of us have needed to do any kind of a sniff test. We trust each other. We love each other. That's how life's supposed to be. But anyway, we got the highest who invites Andrew into his room, and he's butt naked. And when he's initially chastises Andrew for thinking that he wants to see him naked, because the highest is like, well, take your mask off. And he's referring to his clothes, but when Andrew sort of like is a little not receptive, he plays mind games. He flips it like, oh, you really think, you know, you want me to see you naked, you know? And then that, like, just playing mind games with Andrew, because I have to give, I think his name is Matt Cedino. Just double checking. The highest is, yeah, Matt Cedino. And he has done such a good job with the highest, because, you know, initially I wasn't really getting a good vibe from him. Like, you know, still like a one note thing, but now the character now has layers, because he goes from this benevolent being to a pimp. By the end of the episode, he's acting like a pimp. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But seeing that he has different layers, I give the actor credit, because the acting on the show has been really good and is refreshing, and I'm enjoying it. But he eventually invites Andrew to sit on the bed, and then he puts his hand on his shoulder. And that's all we get to see. And I was genuinely a little disappointed. And it's not because I wanted to see the highest and Andrew get it on. It's because Andrew's reaction in the last episode was projectile vomiting. So I thought it would be really interesting to see a person whose first reaction to seeing that act is projectile vomiting is now cool with it. So there could have been some good acting moments in it without it getting too graphic. I thought that was a miss, unless we get a flashback or something. But yeah, we later learn at the end of the episode that, yeah, the highest explains to Andrew that this is how the coronation is going to go down. I'm going to give you my seed, and then you're going to give Ruth your seed, and along with six other guys, because it's like they have 7 guys to seed Ruth in an attempt to get her pregnant. But the only person who does not seed Ruth is the highest, because according to him, he put his seed in these 7 guys, and somehow was going to magically transfer from them them to her. So yeah, that happened. Not that we got to see everything, but Sarah, we skipped Sarah because we talked about that. We talked about Doc Han and the sniff test. Ruth gets washed again for a coronation, and she's given a drink to help her get ready. She's a little reluctant with taking a drink because she just thinks she's going to have sex with the highest. She doesn't really think that, she's about to get gangbanged, even though Tally warned her that that's exactly what's going to happen. So Lynn is still feeling, we're going to skip back to Lynn and Brian. Lynn is still feeling the drugs in her system. She's still having these euphoric moments of remembering the highest. And Mac comes over to let Brian know that the sheriff is going to be visiting the compound in the morning, and he wants him to join him. And then once Mac leaves, Lynn comes down and she says that she wants to apologize, which I appreciated her doing, because we don't want to depict all black women as being these hyper aggressive, nasty women that you just got to put up with, and you'll get occasional moments of niceness. That is not a good way to portray black women at all. And when you do that with all of them, then it becomes a stereotype that we don't want to be pushing in the black community. But Lynn apologized, which I give the character credit for, the writing credit for, and then she said, "Okay, if we need to move, we can move," which to me has a double meaning. Since she's still having these the drugs are still in her system, and she's still having these euphoric visions of the highs and things like that. Is she saying that she's trying to support Brian by helping him take down the compound, by not getting in the way of what he has to do, by moving closer? Or does she want to be closer to the Rakadushi? Which I think is the latter. So finally, we get the final scene where Ruth once again tells Elder Mother Marva that she needs to see the highest about Tally, but refuses to say why. Marva tells her she can talk to the highest after the coronation. The scene did not make sense to me because she's already on her way to see the highest. So that's just my note. It made no sense to me whatsoever with Ruth saying to Marva, "Look, I need to see the highest right now," as you're walking up to the building where he's going to be, and you think you're about to have sex with him, and you think it's just going to be the two of you. So why are you telling Marva you need to see the highest when you're walking on your way to see the highest? It made no sense to me. I don't get it. Maybe the scenes were out of order. Maybe that scene should have came early on. I don't know. Didn't make any sense. But this leads us to the very last moments of the episode, and I was glad it happened this way, because I was afraid that Ruth was going to tell the highest about what Tally said to her, which would get her killed. But if Tally prediction came true, that Ruth becoming an elder meant she was going to get gang raped, then that means that there's a chance that she'll be reluctant and not snitch on Tally, so she doesn't get yet another beating or killed or any of that. So yeah, it's kind of weird wanting something bad to happen to a character just so she don't snitch on another character you want protected. But she walks in the room and there's 7 naked guys, and the highest is fully dressed, waiting in front of a bed. And in this moment, she knows that what's about to go down. Tally warned her, and she's resistant. And the highest is like, "Don't resist. This is gonna happen." And then this is why I said earlier that I felt like he unleashed his inner pimp, because he's like, well, you out here in the street, we're out in the streets giving it away to all those other men, you can do it for me, you know. And that's kind of what pimps do. That's pimp talk. I used to be a firefighter and a paramedic, and I've met women who were prostitutes and they had pimps, and you know, they've been hurt some kind of way, and we're in the medic, we're talking to these women and they're telling us their life story, and these are the types of things that the men say to them. The men ain't working at all, and they got these women out here in the streets and making them feel like this is their job. They're doing a favor for the family, which would be the Rakadushi in this situation. And so she resists just a little bit. The guys are, you know, get her in a position. And he's like, Andrew, you can go first. And we know Andrew, even though he looked like, okay, we know that in the first episode, he told Daikon that he was horny, basically. And Daikon was like, well, you gotta wait till the cleansing, and then you'll be able to be the woman. And so he's been cleansed, but now, you know, he got to be with Ruth first. And I'm gonna end this by saying I just couldn't imagine being number 7 or number 6 or even number 5, because each man is inside of her to seed her. So by man number 7, that's sloppy. You definitely don't need no lube after that. It's gonna be sloppy and nasty, and depending on what them guys got, it's gonna be, by the time it gets to number 7, it's gonna be like this. Like a baby could halfway come through by the time this girl gets finished with these 7 guys. So I'm saying this without being too graphic, but that was what I was thinking while I was watching the show. Wow, you don't want to be number 7. You want to be within maybe the first 3. After that, it's sloppy 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, which isn't funny, but it's just a TV show, so I can laugh. So that's it. I want to know what you thought about this episode. I want to know what you thought about the sniff test. I want to know what you thought about Andrew's cleansing. And did you want to see it? Did you not want to see it? What did you think about the coronation? Do you think after having been with these 7 men like she was told, will Ruth actually go through with snitching on Tally? Or will she have a change of heart and say something that doesn't get Tally beaten again? And then the last thing is, do you think Lynn wants to get back with the Rakadushi? And do you think Sarah is an idiot for going in on her husband's mission to try to bring him back essentially for her son's birthday? It's really stupid. But what do you think about all of this? Are you enjoying Ruthless? Did I do a good review the 4th time? Was it the charm? You know, hopefully I had enough energy. I didn't give you what I would have given you the first time, but I think I gave you everything I can give you. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you continue to watch my videos. Thank you for watching. You can watch Tyler Perry's Ruthless. If you have not seen episode 1, if you're part of my soap fam, the 20,200 people that we have so far and counting, and you haven't seen Ruthless, you can go on Amazon Prime to watch the first episode for free. And if you like the first episode, which I think you will, you'll want to go on ahead and get BET Plus. I know it's a little tight, tough times, but I think you'll be able to scrape out like $8-9 to see the rest of what's going on. So thank you for watching. I'm Phoenix Tremaine, and I will catch you in the next video.